When tragedies strike, our immediate human reaction is often despair. We ask, why did this happen to me? We look at loss, pain, and heartbreak through the narrow lens of this worldly life, and we often find nothing but bitterness and anger. When everything is taken from us, we lose our footing, our hope, and sometimes even our faith. But how do you stand tall when your entire world has been slaughtered before your eyes? You find endurance in As-Sabur, the most patient, the one who has asked us to seek help through patience. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Qur'an, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, ista'inu bis-sabri was-salah, inna Allaha ma'as-sabirin. O you who believe, seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with the patient. As-Sabur comes from the root word sabara, which goes far beyond simply waiting. Linguistically, it denotes restraint from impatience and rashness. And As-Sabur is an intensive form of the verb, so it refers to absolute and perfect forbearance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is As-Sabur because He's never rushed by the urgency or chaos of creation. He watches the arrogance of tyrants and the suffering of the innocent, yet He holds His judgment perfectly until its appointed time, never acting out of uncalculated anger. And to internalize As-Sabur and His command of patience is to realize that patience is not passive surrender to grief, but an active and powerful form of spiritual strength. And if one wants to see this patience manifested in a human, then you do not need to turn further than the daughter of Imam Ali alayhi salam and Lady Fatima salamullahi alayha, Ummul Masa'ib Zaynab alayhi salam. Zaynab alayhi salam witnessed the death of her grandfather the Prophet and the subsequent calamities on her mother and father. She then witnessed the martyrdom of her unborn brother Muhsin alayhi salam. Shortly after, the martyrdom of her mother Fatima Zahra alayhi salam. She then witnessed the poison-filled wound on the head of her father Imam Ali alayhi salam. She witnessed the people treacherously betray her brother Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam and poison him as well. And on the day of Ashura, what did she not see? She saw her brothers, sons, nephews mercilessly killed. She saw the tents get set on fire. She saw the daughters of the Prophet disrespected and chased from one tent to the other. She was then taken as captive, dragged in chains from Karbala to Kufa and from Kufa to Sham. Yazid la'natullahi alayh and his henchmen tried to humiliate and break her. When she was brought into the court of Ibn Ziyad, he attempted to mock her and her unimaginable grief. With arrogance, he stands up and asks her, كيف رأيت سن الله بأخيك وأهل بيتك? How did you see what Allah did to your brother and to your family? He perhaps expected her to weep, beg for mercy, or show a broken spirit. Instead, she anchored herself directly to the divine. She attached herself to the command of As-Sabur and delivered a response that breaks the barriers of time. She says, مَا رَأَيْتُ إِلَّا جَمِيلًا. I saw nothing but beauty. Through the lens of As-Sabur, she did not look at the physical blood, the chains, or the temporary triumph of the enemy. She looked beneath the surface and saw a divine decree. Her family had bravely defended the religion, surrendered perfectly to the will of Allah, and achieved the highest status of martyrdom. And when she was later brought to the grand court of Yazid ibn Muawiyah la'natullahi alayh in Damascus, standing as a chained captive, while he arrogantly struck the lips of her martyred brother with a cane, she did not cower. Instead, she unleashed a speech of similar power. She reminded Yazid that his temporary, worldly victory was entirely worthless in the sight of Allah, and that the true victory came to the patient ones. With absolute certainty, she declared, فَكِدْ كَيْدَكَ وَسَعْ سَعْيَكَ وَنَاصِبْ جُهْدَكَ فَوَاللَّهِ لَا تَمْحُوا ذِكْرَنَا وَلَا تُمِيتُ وَحْيَنَا. So scheme whatever you wish to scheme, and carry out your plots and plans. Intensify your efforts, for by Allah, you shall never erase our memory, nor will you wipe out our revelation. Yazid had the armies, the wealth, and the throne. Zaynab alayhi salam had nothing but her connection to As-Sabur. Yet she is the one who is remembered by history books as the victor. To this day, tyrants continue to follow in the footsteps of those who came before them. blinded by the same arrogance, attempting to suppress the truth and extinguish the light of the Ahlul Bayt. Yet, they fail to realize that the path of the believer is not defined by worldly power, but by the beauty found in surrender to the divine decree and steadfast patience in As-Sabur. This legacy is the foundation upon which we prepare for the return of Imam al-Mahdi ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif. Just as Sayyida Zaynab saw the beauty of the divine plan amidst the darkest of tragedies, we are called to embody the same spirit in our own era of testing. Waiting for the Imam is not a passive state. It's an active, patient struggle to keep the truth alive in a world that seeks to erase it. We practice the victory of Zaynab alayhi salam every time we choose to exercise restraint in our personal relationships, swallowing our anger for the sake of unity. We follow in her footsteps when we lose those we love, knowing in our hearts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best of planners. And we emulate her endurance during trials as we see one Friday after another passing by, bringing us no closer to the emergence of Al-Qa'im ajjalallahu ta'ala farajah, despite the continued darkness of the world. I patiently turn to As-Sabur. Ya Sabur, grant us strength when the trials of this world overpower us, and pour your patience into our hearts when the world brings us to our knees. O the ever-patient one, just as you filled Zaynab salamullahi alayha with patience through the calamities of Medina, the trials of Karbala, and the dungeons of Sham, sustain us through this dark night of Ghaibah. Grant us the active patience necessary to be with those that support the Imam ajjalallahu ta'ala farajah when he re-emerges, and allow us to see the beauty in all that you plan.